discuss right now is maybe quite different from the participants or the speakers who already shared their thoughts before, because I'm now presenting the things or the thought about the industrial engineering, especially in the manufacturing management. So hopefully for you all, ladies and gentlemen, could like switch a bit, like from the very physical engineering or the very scientific engineering into slightly managerial side of the engineering. So the thing is, the one thing that I want to highlight is the issue that organizations face is that the organization has its authentic values to be internalized and reflected on the decision making. So the thing we know when we come to the organization or the company, we know about that they have the vision, mission, objectives, and in manufacturing or in managerial perspective, we call it the company statement. So this is the pattern or the role or the guideline that should be followed on making every decision in the company. So we know that the value should be integrated on the strategies taken. Most important thing is that I want to highlight as well that the company have some people on the direction board that have to make decision, especially on the top management level. Of course, they have the know-how, the experience, the knowledge that they can use to make the decision, and they use them all to create the strategies. But the thing is that the people, when they one day they may leave the company, and they most likely to bring the knowledge with them. So on that condition, there was a time where the company may face that the knowledge is disappear. But in fact, they need that knowledge to continuously grow and continuously improve, and they use it as a track to create a new planning and strategy. So then the company consider that they need to retain the knowledge inside the organization. So first of all, I want to describe what the concept of the knowledge, how to create knowledge, and then how to integrate knowledge into the organization, and then how to retain the knowledge within the organization, then how to employing that knowledge to develop the strategies. As we can see here, we can find that there are some level that we can use to understand how the knowledge is formed. We can see that this is the data on the lowest level. The data we can say as we can see here as a discrete view, under a pattern, meaningless fact without any context on it. Then when we give it that context, it becomes the information. So information is a textual data that has been analyzed and interpreted. When we use it and analyze it, that information, and we can make an action with that information, we call it knowledge. So knowledge can be defined as a meaningful information processed in mind and synchronized personal context, belief, and experience. So when we come to knowledge, we can say that the knowledge can lead us to action. And the highest level, we know there is one thing that we call wisdom. Is an insight that appears through integration of knowledge with experience and know-how. So if we can say in the academic career, we can say that the professor has the wisdom. So because they already have the knowledge with them, they have the experiences, they have the know-how, and then they can like innovate, create something new by using all the information, the knowledge, information, and data that they already have, that they already stored before. Many people say, especially the scholars said that some of them actually the two sides of the scholar said that one side said that the knowledge cannot be transformed because the knowledge retained in the person or the human all the time. For example, like riding the bicycle, it is like we have, when once we have that knowledge, then we cannot easily transfer it to other people. We may can give instruction how to ride the bicycle, but it's not easily for the other people to know and to practice and go to action to ride the bicycle directly. So it needs some what we call the tacit knowledge, that the internalized knowledge, the hidden knowledge that just remain in the human forever. But some expert or some scholars said that the knowledge could be transformed or could be transferred. So what we call it the explicit knowledge. So in here, there is a scheme where the tacit knowledge can be transformed to the tacit knowledge. The tacit knowledge could be transformed to the explicit knowledge, and the explicit knowledge can be transformed to the explicit knowledge, and explicit knowledge could be transformed to the tacit knowledge. So I stand with the scholar that prefer to say that the knowledge is the one thing that could be transformed, because with all of the media, the socialization, the internalization, with the recording, with the tracking, we can record, restore, and then recall the information that can be used to create the new knowledge. The thing that comes to the one thing that I want to highlight in this presentation is how we can employ that knowledge, that we afraid that the knowledge just disappear when the people go from the organization, is how to integrate that knowledge into the company. So one thing that we can use is is a part of an artificial intelligence that we call knowledge-based system. Although many scholars said that the knowledge-based system is like an old-fashioned, they said that the knowledge-based system is just like an old thing that that cannot be used anymore. But I believe that the knowledge-based system, when we use it properly on the specific purpose, and then when we combine it with the relevant methodologies, it could be a powerful method to help the company to manage to create the strategy. So now I would like to present or to share with you how the knowledge-based system could be deployed by embed the other two methodologies with it. There are gap or gouging, absences of prerequisite, and then also an analytic hierarchy process, that each of them has their own roles to help the knowledge-based system become powerful tools to help the company to create the strategy. As we can see here, in the KB system, the knowledge-based system, the main aim of this knowledge-based system is to imitate the thinking process to generate the reasonable conclusion in a specific domain. So it has some facts and rules. It quite common for the people when we when we say about the rules, we say that if and then statements that can be used for create the knowledge-based system. But it's not the only thing that we use here. We use explanatory facilities that help us to, as the guidelines for us to understand how that statement comes into the system, into the knowledge-based system. So it can be tracked for the people who come after to the organization. They can understand why such a statement or such indicators could be considered as a part of assessment or part of the strategic making. And then when we know about, when we have decided the particular statement, we will rated by using the gauging absences of prerequisite. So it is a benchmarking technique used to identify and assess the gap between a prerequisite state and an existing state. So we give the statement a particular rating that I will show you after this, and it will have, for this case, it will have 1 to 9 levels. And another tool is analytic hierarchy process. So in analytic hierarchy process, it's quite famous tools that be used by many people to help on multi-criteria decision making. So when we have so many alternatives to be considered, we can compare all the alternatives wisely, and then we create the metric that help us to be consistent to consider each of the alternatives, and then we can come up with the best priority. So for the more explanation of the knowledge-based system, it can be seen here that the knowledge-based system is a kind of it's kind of system that we can implement it into an application. So the application itself, it contains KB roles inside, and then it based on the facts that have been generated from the company. So this kind of methodology cannot be like a standing alone research. So we as the academic, for the academic scholar should sit together with the people in the company to define and describe which indicator that should be considered in making the strategy. And on each KB role, it has its explanation. So the explanation, it becomes the border for the next person who take the opportunity or take the position or assigned to be the manager who create the decision to know how that strategy comes up. And after that, also will be supported by the presentation facility that can help the user to easily use this kind of tools to help them to understand what happened with the company right now and what should they plan for the next. So this is the kind of illustration of the knowledge-based system. And this is the one that I showed you, I told you before about the 9 levels of program category in gauge absence of prerequisite. This is the like maybe people or maybe the researcher in our place usually use like a Likert scale, like 1 to 5 or 1 to 7 or even 1 to 9 to help them to illustrate or to get the value of a particular indicator. So in here we try to deeply explore how each level can contribute or impact to the company. So to make it quite clear, I highlight some information here. Like you can see in the, for example, on the first problem category, it's indicate a significant problem. What is this problem? It can be resolved in a short time, and it could be if it cannot be resolved, it could make the operation stop. So that's what we indicate very serious problem. And then we continue to the second problem categories, and then goes next, and then like example, this is the indicator serious problem, and then we describe what kind of serious problem it means, and then go to the third problem category and also on, and then we goes to the very lowest risk of the problem category, where there is not really a good or bad point itself. So for this decision making, we we try to identify all of the indicators that are relevant to the strategy, and then we try to identify the role of each statement or indicator to the existence of the company. And then after that, we use the AHP, the analytic hierarchy process, to compare them, to weight them, and then we use the consistency ratio to make sure that we can we compare all of the, and then we can come up with the best alternative. For the sake of brevity, I just slide it by, and then you can see here, this the way we can do, where we do the pairwise comparison, where when we compare PC1 to PC2, and then we make it reciprocal. On the left down side of the diagonal. So on the diagonal, because it compared to itself, it must be 1. So this metric should be 1 in the diagonal. And for the right, upper right of the diagonal, you can see that it continuously and systematically grow when we compare PC1 to PC2, to PC1 to PC3, and so on. And, for the left down of the diagonal, we can see that it is the reciprocal of the right side. This is a case study where we use that integrated knowledge-based system. The one that we already tried to conduct is or develop an integrated knowledge-based system for maintenance strategy and operation, what we call KBIMSO, linked to manufacturing and business within an automotive industry environment. The fact is that we found, when we talk about the organization or the company who produce a kind of product, the people or the company usually just focusing on the manufacturing process, but that we haven't considered obviously that the maintenance is an inevitable thing that should be considered as high as the manufacturing, because when we know that when manufacturing with the high automatic machine, high automatic equipment, it needs the high what say the high maintenance planning to make the manufacturing process could be running as expected. So in this case, we want to highlight that maintenance is as important as the manufacturing in influencing the successful of the organization. So in here, we can see that the organization interact with the maintenance element and also the manufacturing element, and manufacturing and maintenance has the horizontal interaction, where they have the role each other to support the organization. This is the maintenance system where we identify there are 5 main aspects in maintenance system, which are maintenance activities, maintenance rules, maintenance performance, maintenance control, and maintenance resources. And in here, we try to identify which kind of maintenance initiative that the usually company have. So we try to elaborate of all of the maintenance strategy, and then we can get what kind of activities that become the main important thing in the maintenance. And then I'm sorry if it's quite small for you, but I want to try to figure out the whole picture of this, where we can see here that the business and manufacturing, in business perspective, we try to use the perspective by using the balance scorecard approach, where there are the financial, customer, internal business process, and learning and growth perspective that can influence the the company performance. On the manufacturing process, we are focusing on manufacturing equipment, manufacturing process, and the process quality. And then after that, we go down to the maintenance. Then we try to identify each important aspects on the maintenance. And then after that, we come with we develop the KB model design, which integrate the gap, the KB system, and the HP. Then it will be used to recommend the priorities, the strategic prioritization. And this is the structure of KBIMSO model, which will help us to develop the application. Actually, the application is just a kind of a tool that help us to interact with the user. But the main thing is that we have to sit together with the direction board to identify all of the important indicators that will be considered to develop the strategy. Here is the hierarchy, the structure of the HP of the KBIMSO. And this is the flowchart that we use to develop the KBIMSO model design. Where we integrate the knowledge base system, the gap and HP, and the information base for all of the aspects that we use in the business perspective, and manufacturing perspective, and the maintenance perspective. So this is the illustration of all of the flowchart for each subject or the specific section in the knowledge base of the KBIMSO model. This is the typical rules that we use, where you can see here, it is maybe like the classic statement that the people may use in daily life when they need to ask some question or get the survey on something in the company. But in fact, here we try to be precise to get which piece that statement influence the company. This is a typical, for this time, I just use the old version of application just to show how this application can interact with the user. And then this is the typical explanation that can become a border for the next person to create the decision. And the validation of this work has been conducted on 2 companies at the time. For there are two types of validation: industrial case study and published case study. And the real industrial case study has been conducted on 2 different companies on automotive background. So at the end, we came with the most critical thing that we found that should be improved on each level in the KBIMSO, in the knowledge base and of integrated maintenance strategy and operation, and then help the company. And after this, we can come back to all of the roles and identify which roles that should be prioritized to be improved for the next period. So final remarks I would share is that the KBIMSO is developed by considering the integration of business maintenance with the integration of maintenance with manufacturer's business level. And then the KB role scope a comprehensive but clear and systematic integration of strategic and operational stages. The end of the development, right now, there are over 2,000 KB roles have been generated to develop the KBIMSO model. In fact, this number could grow to cover the integration of the entire organization, because we know that when we create the strategy, we cannot only consider manufacturing itself or maintenance itself. We should consider the entire organization. So since it's just the specific application on the interaction between among business, manufacturing, and maintenance, it could be copied and then imitated and then adopted to the entire organization. So because we just rely on the knowledge acquisition that we already have or we already store, it has the big possibility for this model to grow by increase the knowledge acquisition, then by and it also requires KBIMSO aspect, the KB roles and explanations. Hopefully it can give some ideas for you to discuss about the knowledge management or knowledge-based system, and I'm inviting you all to share your knowledge and share your thought about this. Thank you very much, and that's all of my presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Milana. Yes, for the first side, I was curious why does Dr. Milana talk about the management system, and I read your study background it is about industrial engineering, but I think someone can develop her expertise later. Yeah, but this is very great presentation. I think Dr. Milana. We collect here two questions. First is if KBIMSO.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, is KBIMSO, it can be applied to some level of business and manufacturing. Does it has any requirement, specific requirement for big manufacturer or smaller manufacturer?
Yeah.
Is the first question. And the second one, wait, I try to read it. And the second one is, we talk about human learning resources in this case.
Yeah.
So which part is that most have great contribution, manufacturing process or manufacturing management based on IBK? Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Ibu Ii, for the question. So for the first one is which one is it adaptable for the big company or for the small company? So the thing is the KBIMSO is a tools. So as a tools, it could be used in a different organization, because when we talk about the system, so we can say that any system could use this model, but the fact is we need to adjust the content of the model to be adaptable or to be usable to the different organization. The main important thing is that we should know that in the framework of the KBIMSO, we identify the most important thing of in the management, in the maintenance aspect, in the manufacturing aspect, in the business aspect, and then the content of the KBIMSO role should be adjusted. So I can say that this model could be implemented both on a big company or in small company with some arrangement on it. So this is the answer for the first question. And for the second question is, sorry, which one is the, can you please repeat the question again?
Which part that give most contribution about knowledge-based system or manufacturing process itself? Which one?
Right. Yeah. Actually, on the all perspective, the people just say that manufacturing is the main thing, the main important thing in the company, because the company sell the product and the product created by the manufacturing process, and then that's it. So when we can sell the product, we can create the product. So it means that the company can grow and that the company can sell something. But in fact, that we know that the company right now, they should consider to be effective, to be efficient, in doing their business. So especially when we know that manufacturing process right now using the high automatic equipment, and then once that equipment break down, and then it will stop the production process. So we cannot leave the maintenance behind. We have to consider that the maintenance is important as the manufacturing itself. The thing is, we know that the old thought said that the maintenance just used when the equipment break down. It's like a kind of firefighter, like when the equipment break down and then fix it. The equipment breakdown, fix it. But the thing we should realize right now that the company doesn't want to the operation stop. The company wants that even if it could be run in 24 hours, 7 days, it should be goes like that. So to avoid the breakdown, we have to make sure that the maintenance process could be adjust or could be embedded in the manufacturing process. So if I can say in my perspective that manufacturing is the big thing in the company, but the maintenance is like another thing that should be given a special portion in the company strategy. I think that's the answer, Ibu Ii.
Yep, Dr. Milana, I think this is a very new insight for the owner of factory, that this is not only about product, but also about the management attention to be better, I think. Okay, Dr. Milana, I'm happy to get a great presentation from you. This is time to end the session, first plenary session. I think Dr. Nisrin, would you like to join us? We have a little bit appreciation for you, but we want to deliver some certificate of speaker in this international symposium. Would you like to join us? Yeah. Let me share you from the committee of symposium. We say thank you very much for Dr. Nisrin Lakmits in recognition and appreciation of your contribution as invited speakers in our Progress in Science and Technology Research Symposium 2022. Dr. Nisrin, thank you very much. We will send it later via email. And the second for Dr. Milana, we also say hi, grateful for your new insight in this manufacturing industry. Thank you very much, and hopefully the information can expand and integrate in many areas. Also in education, I think in my area. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ibu Ii.
Yeah. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is the end of session first plenary session. From the committee, we say very grateful attention and support for your attendance, but don't forget, after this session, we will have about 15 minutes breaking time for having a prayer. And don't forget to join back with us, because we choose several best presenters from each room, and we will announce it for you in the end of session, the second plenary session. Yeah, so keep joining on us. And for this session, I said we close it for a temporary time. Thank you very much all, and don't forget, be back here. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jangan lupa Bapak Ibu, setelah ini kita masih ada 2 pembicara lagi, dan kita akan berikan penghargaan untuk presenter-presenter dalam room yang terbaik pada masing-masing roomnya. Nah, tunggu kami sekitar 15 menit lagi. Boleh kita istirahat dulu ya Bapak Ibu.
Doni, Doni, Doni. Doni, Doni bisa dengar? Doni, Doni, Doni. Ya.
Sawah yang usai panen untuk bermain bola. Sungai Pagu adalah sebuah kecamatan di Kabupaten Solo Selatan, Provinsi Sumatera Barat, yang berbatasan langsung dengan Kecamatan Koto Parik Gadang di sebelah utara, Kecamatan Paugeruo di sebelah selatan, Kabupaten Pesisir Selatan di sebelah barat, dan Kecamatan Sangir Batanghari di sebelah timur. Ada beberapa nagari yang ada di Kecamatan Sungai Pagu. Salah satunya Nagari Sako Selatan Pasya Talang dengan luas nagari 35,41 km persegi atau 5,94% dari luas wilayah Kecamatan Sungai Pagu. Sungai Pagu terdiri dari 4 jorong, yaitu Jorong Sungai Talu, Jorong Sawah Siwa, Jorong Alai, dan Jorong Lolo Kacian. Bukit nan hijau, sawah yang terbentang luas, sungai yang jernih, rumah gadang sebagai simbol kebudayaan, dan berbagai hasil alam menambah keelokan nagari ini. Di Kecamatan Sungai Pagu ini terdapat banyak sekali tempat wisata yang layak dikunjungi. Salah satunya yaitu 1000 Rumah Gadang yang terletak di Nagari Koto Baru. Kawasan 1000 Rumah Gadang telah termasuk ke dalam kawasan pengembangan pariwisata dan sedang dalam proses penetapan sebagai salah satu situs cagar budaya Provinsi Sumatera Barat. Hal ini terbukti pada tahun 2017. Kawasan 1000 Rumah Gadang dinobatkan sebagai kampung adat terpopuler dalam Anugerah Pesona Indonesia atau APA. Masjid 60 Kurang Asul adalah masjid tertua di alam Surabi Sungai Bagu, tepatnya di Nagari Pasiatalang. Dibangun secara gotong royong oleh masyarakat adat. Di samping sebagai tempat ibadah, masjid ini juga dipergunakan sebagai tempat upacara adat, seperti upacara makan-makan turun ke sawah dan membantai kabau nan gabah. Masjid ini adalah perwujudan padat besandi syarak besandi kitabullah.
Nagari Talang Babungo merupakan salah satu nagari di Kecamatan Hiliran Gumanti, Kabupaten Solok yang dikelilingi oleh Bukit Barisan. Nagari ini memiliki banyak potensi alam yang berlimpah dari hasil buminya. Alamnya yang begitu indah menjadikan salah satu nagari dengan banyak objek wisata yang menarik untuk dikunjungi. Nagari Talang Babungo terkenal dengan udaranya yang sejuk, alamnya yang asri, dikelilingi sungai yang mengalir indah, perkebunan yang terbentang luas, sawah yang hijau dihiasi dengan tebu yang menyanyi. Di bawah langit yang biru, keramahan warga kampung di sini menambah hangatnya suasana di tengah sejuknya nagari ini. Panorama yang dahsyat dan air terjun seolah menjadi oase di tengah padang pasir yang membuat siapapun yang datang betah untuk berlama-lama dan memujuk siapapun untuk kembali lagi ke negari ini. Nagari ini terdiri dari 7 jorong, dan salah satu jorong yang terkenal di nagari ini yaitu Jorong Tabe. Jorong Tabe sangat populer dengan nama KBA dan Kampung Jepang. Tapi lebih dari itu, kampung ini juga dikenal dengan Kampung Proklim Nasional, di mana warganya sangat bersahabat dengan alam. Program ini adalah program unggulan oleh Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup dan Kehutanan. Untuk sampai ke Jorong Tabe butuh waktu 3-4 jam perjalanan dari Kota Padang. Kampung kecil yang berada di lekuk bukit dihuni oleh lebih dari 2.000 jiwa. Hamparannya disesaki jutaan bunga, tebu dan aren. Sebuah pemandangan asri yang nyaris tak ditemukan di kampung manapun, khususnya di ranah Minang. Rata-rata masyarakat di Jorong Tabe berprofesi sebagai petani. Tebu dan aren merupakan produk andalan di Jorong Tabe. Ada banyak pengelola aren yang kami temui. Secara usia mereka tidak muda lagi, tapi semangat juangnya untuk bertahan hidup sungguh luar biasa. Pohon aren biasanya mengeluarkan air dari batang anaunya dan mengeluarkan air dari mayang yang sudah dipotong. Biasanya bapak-bapak di sini memanennya pada pagi dan sore hari. Air tersebut ditampung di sebuah wadah yang disebut dengan tarangkia. Air yang dihasilkan biasanya masyarakat lokal menyebutnya air niro. Air inilah yang digunakan untuk membuat gula aren, gula semut, dan sirup niro. Selain itu, air niro yang sering dikonsumsi langsung baik oleh masyarakat atau tamu yang berkunjung ke tempat ini. Selain gula aren, tebu juga menjadi komoditas utama di kampung ini. Di Jorong Tabe ada pabrik untuk pengolahannya. Tebu biasanya digiling dan menghasilkan air. Air perasan tebu tersebut bisa dijadikan gula tebu dan bisa juga diminum langsung. Proses pembuatan gula tebu hampir sama dengan pembuatan gula aren. Air hasil perasan tebu direbus di sebuah kuali besar, lalu setelah direbus selama 2 jam hingga mengental. Air yang sudah mengental tersebut langsung dipindah ke dalam cetakan yang telah tersedia. Setelah dimasukkan ke dalam cetakan, lalu didiamkan selama 30 menit hingga mengeras dan selesailah proses pembuatan gula tebu tersebut. Jorong Tabe memiliki beragam budaya. Sebagaimana daerah-daerah lain yang ada di Indonesia, ada berbagai kebudayaan yang berkembang di Jorong ini, mulai dari tarian-tarian hingga bela diri. Di mana tarian yang berkembang adalah tari piring dan tari lainnya. Lepas dari itu, Jorong ini pun memiliki tempat-tempat yang dibuat khusus sebagai cagar budaya dan menjadi ikon di Kabupaten Solok seperti Rumah Pintar, Rumah Produksi, Taman Pangan Mandiri, dan Taman Edukasi. Rumah Pintar terbentuk.
Alhamdulillah, please welcome back to the fourth international, the first Progress in Science and Technology Research Symposium 2022. With me, Muhyatul Fadila, BCE. We come to the second plenary session. I hope you get some refreshment or relaxation after 15 minutes breaking times. Well, our two next speakers come from Indonesian with different topic. First, I want to invite Dr. Henry, Pak Henry, PhD. Are you here with us, Pak Henry?
Oke.
Iya. Halo Pak Henry.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Alhamdulillah. Gimana kabarnya Bapak?
Alhamdulillah sehat.
Alhamdulillah. Ya.
Yang sebelum Pak Henry kan ada satu?
Ada satu lagi Pak Rijal. Kita juga tanya Pak Rijal. Halo Dr. Rijal. Iya. Alhamdulillah. Ya, sudah, kita berdua sudah ready. Sooner we start the presentation, as schedule determined, we give the first occasion to Dr. Rijal to present his ideas about ants ya. Ini ceritanya tentang semut. Saya salut sama Pak Rijal ini. Menangkap hal-hal kecil dan membuatnya besar di dunia. Nah, gitu. Nah, sebentar saya minta waktu untuk membacakan tentang deskripsi Bapak Rijal. Dr. Rijal Satria, precisely where are you now? In Padang or another district?
In Padang.
Oh, sudah di Padang. Sudah kembali ke Padang ya, Pak ya? Okay. Rijal Satria is one of productive researchers in the Department of Biology, Universitas Negeri Padang. He completed his undergraduate program in 2010 at the Department of Biology, Universitas Andalas. He obtained the Master of Science in the field of Arts and Environment 2014 from the University of Kagoshima, Japan. 3 years later, he finished his doctor in philosophy in biological science at Tokyo Metropolitan University, Japan. Surely his research interests are in animal ecology and taxonomy, ornithology, entomology. But I hear that he is focused on entomology about ants. In the last 5 years, Dr. Rijal has produced many scientific publications in reputable international journals as a result of his international research collaboration with some countries in the world. To short the time, we please the Dr. Rijal to present your ideas. Time is your Dr. Richard.
Thank you very much, Julie, for the introduce me in this conference. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous right now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you all like in good health and condition. And today I will thank you very much for this chance and very much for inviting me to present my this symposium.
Simple.
Just allow me to share things of my purpose.
Okay, while waiting for the start sharing screen, we remind you to have certain minutes for presentation. I'm sorry for the information, Dr. Rijal.
It's okay, thank you very much. Do you see my?
Yes, we can see it clearly.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will present my study, my results of my study about the title is the revealing the hidden diversity of leaf litter ants in Sumatra. As Bu Yi said before, I'm studying about ants, the small creatures and beautiful small creatures. And actually, as we introduced, I come from the biology department, and I also belong to the biodiversity of Sumatra research group of Universitas Municipal. This is the at present this research group only consists from the researcher from the biology department, and hope in the future we will develop and attack researcher from the international. I hope my presentation will be different from before. Because I saw this all about the ants, but now I study about the biology and about the ants. And this is my favorite slide. If you see, this is if I study about ants, so you can say, oh, probably you like the superhero Ant-Man. So I don't think so. But if I meet the Ant-Man in real life, so I will say maybe I will describe this Ant-Man to become the new species because this is ant, right? And I'm taxonomy, so maybe that will be happen. I hope so. So I would like to introduce the biodiversity of Sumatra Research Group. This is the kelompok riset keanekaragaman hayati Sumatera. This research group does established 2021, and this research group is focused to study the biodiversity of Sumatra. Why we study about the Sumatra? Because we know the Sumatra is the 6th largest island in the world. Then the Sumatra island is the main components of the Sundaland. This means the you can see here about the map. This is Sumatra, and Sumatra have a bridge for the Malay Peninsula, Borneo, and Java, and they share the similarity for the diversity. Of course, because they have a similar biodiversity. This is very important to study biodiversity in Sumatra, and also have Sumatra already based on the geological process. The Sumatra Island become more what to say? It's more become one specific area and that's isolated from the another island. So the endemicity of the diversity is this occur in here in the Sumatra. And then for the Sumatra itself, how to say, the biodiversity is not yet studied very well because many how to say, researchers actually focus on the large animal, and the small animal is they don't care, I think, or the small animal has been forgotten. Because of that, and also the Sumatra Island have the unique topography. What's it mean unique? We have the Barisan Mountain, Barisan Range, Bukit Barisan. This is stretched from the north to the south of the Sumatra Island. And because of this, we have the several type of habitat in here: highlands, lowlands. Especially in the West Sumatra, we have the many mountains like Talang Mountains, Tandike, Talamau, Marapi, Singgalang, Sago, and all. And all of this habitat not yet studied very well about this biodiversity. And of course, the highland, we also in Sumatra have the lowlands. And the diversity in the highlands and lowland is completely different here. So, and because of that, our research group, the Biodiversity of Sumatra Research Group, focus to study the biodiversity in Sumatra, because we know we have the high biodiversity, and actually some people say the mega biodiversity, and we don't know how large this diversity in Sumatra. And this is our duty in the biodiversity of Sumatra Research Group to reveal all the organisms that biodiversity in the Sumatra. And as you know here, actually, if we say about the animal wildlife, then we can say many animals, right? But actually, if you say that we just recognize the large size animals like orangutan, elephants, tiger, like harimau Sumatra. Actually, for the small creature like the insects, it had been forgotten because not so many researchers study about that. And why the insects or small creature will be forgotten? Are they is not so important to the ecosystem? Now, in here you can see in this slide, actually the insects also play important roles in the ecosystem. In here, we can see here, this is a cause of extinction in the insects. And how to say, this you can see all of this case is affect the insects biodiversity in the ecosystem, because of insects also have play important role. Usually like this one, this is co-extinction. We call it co-extinction, which means some insects living in life in the living another organism, like this is might live in parasite to the tiger. Now, if the tiger is disappear, of course this might also will be disappear. This is called the co-extinction. And also over exploitation, climate change, invasive species. Now, I would like to highlight the invasive species in here. Why? Because I have to say, invasive species is also a dangerous case here in our country. Why? Because we said this will be dangerous because the invasive species will come from the another country, will come from the another area, and then they stay in our country, and actually we don't know how they will bring some disease, or they affect the local biodiversity like that. So why we do not yet know the invasive species, which one is invasive and which one is the original from our country. So of course, at first we need to know how to say diversity of our country first, and especially in Sumatra. We study about our diversity. If we already know which one is the endemic species in our country, our island, Sumatra, and then we already know which one is the newcomer, which one is the invasive species, and which one is come to the country, and which one is dangerous. Actually, like previously, we uh, face the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19. This is also come from the animals, right? Of course, if we study which one is our species and which ones come from the another area, and then we know and we can do like some regulation to stop the distribution of this species to our country. Maybe this is the further study for or further action for this study. And then, so that's like background for this research. And then I will talk about the ants. Yeah, actually, you can see in this slide, this is the ants, social insects, because you will saw many ants come together and they working together, and you can find easily at your home everywhere. Everywhere has ants. So this is a big beautiful creature. You can see here this, but I don't know about your opinion. You will see this beautiful or not, but I think this beautiful creature. And there's a very handsome ant. And yeah, of course, ants have many variation of morphology, and they work together. And the ants also belong to the insects. And for unique for this, and they have a colony. They make a nest in the leaf, under the rock, in the soil, and also they make nest in the crack of your home, in your plant, in your how to say wooden like a desk or chair. They make nest out there, and this ant have the case system. Which one they have the male here, they have a queen, worker, and also it's developed by metamorphosis and from larva, pupa, and adults. Yeah, this is one colony of the genus Polyrhactis. Yeah. So we can see how beautiful this is. And the another interesting about the ant is the sex determination. We can see this is diploid. Diploid is this chromosome in the ant. If diploid, they will become the female. What is mean diploid? For the commoner, I will say this is the egg. The egg will fertilize by sperm. Sorry. Then they will become the females. But on the egg, not fertilized by sperm, they will be the male. This is mean the haploid. So this sex determination is occur in ants, and this study also are very interesting. And in here you can see the ants also play the important roles in the ecosystem. They will become the predator of the small invertebrate. They will become mix the soil. They will be the disperse the plant seeds in the forest, and also they have chemicals to like antibiotic chemicals in the body, and they produce to make the body and the nest clean from the microbes. And you can see here, this is also my favorite ant. And this I described this species in 2015, and I give its name is Odontomachus minangkabau. And this species you can see here have the long mandible here, and that mandible can open in 180 degrees and have some trigger hairs in here. If this hair touched by prey or touched by another insects, and the mandible will close with the very high speed level. And you can see here in the red arrow in the corner, this ant already cuts its prey. This is termite. They catch termite, and then they will bring the prey to the nest and eat together with their colony. This is very how to say interesting about the ecology and the behavior of ants. And then we come to my research. So if before in the title I said revealing the biodiversity of ants in Sumatra, and we will come to the question, how about ant diversity in Sumatra? So how many species in Sumatra? So we will face that question. So if this question asked to me right now, so I will say how many ant diversity in Sumatra. So I will say I don't know exactly how much total of ant species in Sumatra, but I will answer based on the described species, based on the already recorded species. So the diversity of Sumatra is around, the total is 670 species with 94 genera and 10 subfamily. This number is only 4% from the total species of the ants in the world. It's very, very, very low. And but how to say? Yeah, because of the study of ants in Sumatra is not so common. Yeah, the real diversity of ants in Sumatra we don't know, because some species not yet found and some species not yet identified. And based on this number, 670 species, the species is endemic around 288 and non-endemic 366. Endemic is mean that this species only found only in the specific area. So in my case in here, I said endemic. This is meant for the Indo-Malaya subregion, is including the Malay Peninsula, Sumatra, Java, and Borneo. I say if this species found in this area, I said it's endemic. And if this species have a wide distribution, also found in the China, also found in the Papua, also found in the Philippines or in Australia, is mean non-endemic because they have a wide distribution. And based on this data, or like I said before, I do not know the true diversity, how much species of ants in the Sumatra, because still large number of species is waiting to find, waiting to discover. Still large number of species. Why I said like that? Because I will tell you in the next slide about this. So based on this data, we already calculate this around 70 new species. This means 70 species described from Sumatra in the last 20 years. 70 new species described in the last 20 years. And Of course, they also have endemic and non-endemic. Why we choose the 20 years in this, how to say, about this data? Because the last 20 years is uh, the molecular analysis. Molecular analysis means the analysis by using DNA or RNA or protein applied to the taxonomy, especially for the N taxonomy. So in the last 20 years, we, how to say, we study about how many species described in the last 20 years. This is about 70 new species. But from the 70 new species, only one species confirmed by using the integrated taxonomy. This means the morphological, molecular, and morphological approaches. So this one species is Ornithomachus minangkabau. How about the other species? They are only confirmed by morphology. And if confirmed by morphology, so the further study needs to confirm the status of the species. Yeah. So as we know, our research group in the biodiversity of Sumatra research group already conducted the survey of the undiversity in the West Sumatra. Of course, we focus in West Sumatra first because West Sumatra also have the many types of habitat. And in here, we already survey in several study sites. And this is in Mount Sago, this study. And we collect many species of the ants from this study site. And in the survey, we use the collecting method because we focus on the leaf litter ants. Leaf litter. So we use the leaf litter shifting method and Winkler extraction method. Leaf litter shifting method is the we actively collect the leaf litter from the forest and then sieve the leaf litter and then collect on ants that we found. And for the Winkler extraction, we put the leaf litter into the Winkler bag and waiting for 48 hours, and the ant will go down to the cup. And based on our surveys, we found many interesting species here. This is part of our finding in for this surveys. You can see here, this is a Proceratorium delemani. This is new record species from the Sumatra. This species also found in the leaf litter, and other species like this Strumigenis. This is Strumigenis panoplas, Strumigenis sidorata. This also new record from the Sumatra. We already published some report and article to the journal about our findings, and the last paper, the last report our published is for the Discoteria claticonis. You can see here this species we found in the several sites. This is this is small species, and this small species is the new record from the Sumatra. You can see here in the map, this map of the distribution of this species. The green one is that species occur in that location. In the white one is the species is no data about this species, no information about this species on that site. So we can see here the Sumatra have no data about this species. But in our survey, we found this beautiful species here. So you can see here this finding will be the new record of the genus and new record of the species in Sumatra. Then this is the appearance of the habitat of this species found in the Sumatra. This is Sarasa waterfalls. This is Mount Tandike, Mount Marapi. Then this is also Mount Marapi. Yeah. Then the unique of this, how to say, I like to say the Sumatra have the very, how to say, interesting habitat. Interesting habitat. You can see this is in the Sarasahua waterfall. Is the waterfall near the Andalas University, and this waterfall covered by the good vegetation forest. Only small area. Then this vegetation, how to say, around this vegetation is the durian plantation. Yeah. So not so large area, but in the small area, because they have a waterfall and they have a good habitat in there, many ant species I record from this site. And for the other results, I would like to discuss about this genus Wilmesina in Sumatra. Why I also want to discuss about this species? Because this species rarely collected. It means that this species is uncommon. You cannot find this species at your home, or because you need to go to the forest and you need to sieve the leaf litter, and then you will find this species. And this species also have a small size of colony. And this species previously only known for 4 species known from Sumatra, and in 2019 we described 2 new species from Sumatra, Wilmesina andalas and Wilmesina nitidiospula. And then in 2020, Okido et al. Described more of 1 species. Then in the last, in the previous, how to say, our survey, in our course of inventory and taxonomic study of ants in Sumatra, we find 1 more new species about from this genus in Sumatra. And this finding, we would like to report this finding in the future. So I would like to talk about this species. Usually this species, we give this species name Wilmesina salmahae, and this is this beautiful species that how to say, maybe I will show this this species from the first time in this conference, because the article that you published, but you will see this will become a new species in the future. And this is some morphological character that define this species from the other 16 Wilmesina species recorded from the Sumatra. And the uniquely, interestingly, is this species collect from the elevation circa 2,000 meters above sea level, because the other species of this genus only collect above 2,000, maybe 1,500 meters above sea level. And this is species have the small colony in the quercus plant seeds already in the leaf litter, and then we collect this small species, this species in the Mount Sago. And this will become a new species, and the new ecological data about the species from the Sumatra. And as for your information, Wilmesina salmae, the species epithet salmae is derived from the name of Professor Siti Salma, Emeritus Professor of Andalas University. She is my teacher, my docent in the bachelor's program, who teach me about taxonomy for the first time. And she teach me about the taxonomy and introduce me to the more about the taxonomy and introduce me to the other colleagues from the other country. And she also have an authority on entomology and taxonomy in Indonesia, who has contributed greatly to the development of the research fields, actually in insects in the Sumatra. So, yeah, of course, I cannot repay her kindness to me, already teach me about this taxonomy, but I'm with my Hannah, I want to describe this species tribute for Professor Sam. And ladies and gentlemen, so maybe this is for the last slide, the conclusion. Yeah, of course, if we talk all about the species of ants, we need a lot of time because there's only several species we talk, but maybe other species is waiting. But we have not enough time. So, we have limited time. So I can say like this, the biodiversity of Sumatra still underestimated, especially for the small creature. Then our project and our duty in the biodiversity of Sumatra research group is to reveal the new species and new records. Yeah, especially of ants and other species from Sumatra. But this study is still far from complete because this will take a long time to study this island, this Sumatra island. And this project is part of our long-term effort for revising the ants of Sumatra. And the goals of the project are to provide new taxonomic binomic knowledge of the species from Sumatra. And as you know, and like I said before, there are still many species waiting to discover. So this is the end of my presentation. I thank you very much for your attention and kembalikan ke Bu I. Terima kasih banyak.
Ya, terima kasih banyak Bapak Rijal, menakjubkan hasil risetnya ya. Itu briefly I would describe that kajian tentang Pak Rijal meneliti tentang semut dan beliau bilang, oh ini masih masih banyak yang harus dilakukan. Nah, beliau bersama tim menemukan semut-semut yang ternyata khas ada di Sumatera dan itu kalau dinyatakan secara dunia hanya ada di sini. Nah, mungkin Bapak Ibu ada yang hendak bertanya bagaimana dengan kelincahan beliau atau hal-hal yang menarik dalam studi beliau di Pusat Kajian Keanekaragaman, boleh mengacungkan atau raise hand to say some question. Nah, karena ini adalah ada sains dan teknologi, barangkali Pak Rijal membutuhkan kolaborasi dari Bapak Ibu dari bidang yang berbeda untuk menghandle masalah ancaman co-extinction itu gitu mungkin ya. Bapak Ibu silakan kita buka apanya jika ada pertanyaan yang hendak disampaikan.
Ibu sedikit menambahkan Ibu mungkin.
Ya silakan Pak Rijal.
Boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia.
Boleh, surely. Ini sudah kita
tidak terlalu bagus.
Yeah.
Jadi betul seperti yang dikatakan oleh Ibu I tadi, kami di kelompok riset keanekaragaman hayati Sumatera tentu memerlukan bantuan atau dari bidang Bapak Ibu sekalian. Nah, terutama misalnya mengenai distribusi, bagaimana pemetaan distribusi dari suatu spesies di Sumatera, bagaimana habitat apa saja. Nah, tentu kalau untuk data kami bisa mendapatkan, tapi kalau bagaimana pembuatan aplikasinya, bagaimana cara menerapkan aplikasi itu sangat dibutuhkan. Jadi kami dari kelompok riset keanekaragaman hayati Sumatera, saya sendiri tentu akan sangat welcome jika ada Bapak Ibu yang ingin berkolaborasi terkait dengan hal ini. Terima kasih.
Ya, betul sekali Pak Rijal. Pak Rijal punya keahlian spesifik memotret semut dengan berbagai tampang ganteng dan gagahnya Pak Rijal. Tapi kita mungkin punya keterbatasan dalam hal mempromosikan, mempercepat identifikasi dan pemetaan sumber-sumber. Di sini Bapak Ardimanto tertarik. Silakan Bapak. You may speak it in bahasa. Boleh?
We'll try in English.
Yeah, okay, why not? Of course.
Thanks, Ms. Moderator. And Dr. Rijal, it's a great presentation for you, for us. And it is a bit simple question for you. In relation to green technology, could you explain, perhaps N has a benefit to reduce, for example, to make our life here is more green, or maybe save the planet. We have a hero called Ant-Man. Yeah, you know that, right? And how the real ant can solve our planet problem right now is related to the energy. So maybe there is a solution for you from your side. Thanks, Dr. Rijal.
Yeah.
Oke. Langsung dijawab, Ibu.
Langsung aja Pak Rijal, silakan.
Terima kasih Pak Ardimanto untuk pertanyaannya. Izinkan saya menjawab dengan bahasa, takutnya saya nanti salah pronounce atau salah menggunakan istilah. Kalau misalnya kita bicara tentang green technology, tentu saja semut itu bisa memiliki berdampak terhadap green teknologi. Berdasarkan opini saya, pendapat saya pribadi, secara tidak langsung kita sudah merasakan dampak-dampak yang sudah dilakukan oleh semut. Nah, misalnya seperti proses penghancuran zat-zat organik yang terjadi di alam, kan secara tidak langsung kita rasakan. Nah, namun mungkin seperti itu akan sulit dipahami kalau kita bicara tentang itu kalau teknologi. Tapi kalau misalnya Bapak mengapakan tentang green technology, saya pernah membaca sebuah studi tentang ini. Karena semut itu memiliki kelenjar di badannya yang menghasilkan zat antimikroba. Nah, jadi kelenjar itu bisa kita ekstraksi dari semut, kan seperti itu. Nah, tapi tentu saja semutnya yang berukuran besar. Nah, nanti nggak tahu nih apakah ada Bapak Ibu yang tertarik untuk ini atau tidak. Jadi seperti misalnya kita memelihara semut dalam jumlah yang banyak, lalu kita ekstraksi zat antimikroba tadi, nah nanti kita bisa mengapakan untuk kita gunakan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Nah, pertanyaannya, kenapa kita susah-susah harus mengekstraksi dari semut, gitu kan ya? Karena begini, mikroba, bakteri itu akan resisten terhadap antibiotik, antimikroba. Nah, ketika dia sudah resisten, berarti produk yang digunakan itu tentu tidak akan berguna lagi. Tapi karena ini kita ekstraksi dari semut, nah tentu saja kita akan mendapatkan zat antimikroba yang bisa berevolusi. Nah, ketika si mikroba tadi sudah resisten, tentu semut juga akan membuat itu menjadi lebih unggul lagi atau lebih bagus lagi hasil dari zat antimikrobanya tadi. Kira-kira seperti itu. Jadi kita seperti memiliki sebuah peternakan semut yang menghasilkan zat antimikroba yang bisa berevolusi seiring dengan mikroba tadi juga berevolusi. Jadi akan mendapatkan sesuatu yang tadi istilahnya green technology kalau menurut saya seperti itu. Mungkin hanya itu, Bu. Terima kasih banyak. Mohon maaf atas kesalahan kata-kata yang salah.
Terima kasih,
very
Dr.
much.
Rijal.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Ardimanto. Pertanyaannya pamungkas, namun sangat open-ended gitu ya, sangat membuka kesempatan untuk berkolaborasi. Mungkin Pak Rizal mau memperkenalkan, silakan bergabung di pusat risetnya Pak Rizal untuk a broader collaboration. And I think,
Bu,
yes,
kalau boleh menambahkan,
yep.
Saya dari pertambangan, teknik pertambangan, pola-pola yang kita lakukan dalam menambang itu kan ada tambang terbuka, ada juga tambang bawah tanah.
Ya, Pak.
Nah, dalam tambang bawah tanah kan kita seperti semut juga. Kita menggali, kita juga menjaga kestabilan dari atap yang kita gali itu. Nah, itu mungkin bisa diadopsi. Bagaimana kok bisa semut bisa mempertahankan lubang galiannya itu. Kita adopsi mungkin ke dunia real pertambangannya. Barangkali bisa menghasilkan satu metode baru dalam menambang begitu. Dalam kolaborasi, mungkin di kemudian hari bisa kita kolaborasi, Dr. Rijal. Kita sama-sama di institusi yang sama, insya Allah bisa kolaborasi antara biologi, kali kan kita hubungkan dengan tambangan, insya Allah. Terima kasih, Dr. Rijal.
Barakallah. Nah, inilah yang disebut dengan ilmu yang berkah, saling berbagi ya Pak. Mudah-mudahan kami mendoakan Bapak dalam kolaborasi yang apik dan memberi manfaat lebih luas. Thank you very much for both of your. I think these two men are in the same circle about the end imagination man. I think ya. Ini imajinasinya sama ini, bahwa semut itu bisa menyelamatkan bumi. Nah, namun satu lagi aplikasinya ke teknik dan filosofinya yang coba dikaji ya Pak ya, kajian perilaku semut. Ya. Dr. Rijal, thank you very much. And we come to the last session. Here is Bapak Henry Masdi, PhD, has waited for since hour. Bapak, it's time to you. Are you ready to present your ideas? Sambil menunggu, saya perkenalkan Bapak. Bapak masih unmute. Bapak Henry, Dr. Henry.
Oke.
Ya.
Thank you.
Ya.
Ya,
Oke. Bapak. Sebentar Bapak.
Oke.
Several time for this information, Dr. Bapak Henry Masdi for a complete name, I think betul ya Pak Henry Masdi ya Pak ya?
Iya.
Henry PhD is a senior lecturer and the head of laboratory at the engineering faculty Universitas Negeri Padang, Indonesia. Bapak Henry received his bachelor degree in engineering from UNP in 1987. And then Master of Engineering from Bandung Institute of Technology in 2000, and PhD from University of Putra Malaysia in 2011. His research interests mainly focus on power electronics, control and automation, renewable energy and power system. His teaching experience includes power plant, electrical quality and safety, electrical installation, electrical machine maintenance and repair, etc. Bapak Henry is also a dedicated member of the Institute for Engineer Indonesia, perhimpunan PII gitu ya, Forum Pendidikan Tinggi Teknik Elektro Indonesia, Asosiasi Profesi Elektrik Indonesia, dan Ikatan Ahli Ketenaga Listrik Indonesia. Published more than 20 articles, local international journals. Speaks in more than 15 international seminars and workshops. Jadi beliau sudah sering membagikan ilmu. In 2019, he had succeeded in developing effect device model for mitigating voltage sag, which deal with static synchronous condenser as the implementation of new technologies. Yeah, this is relatively new for me for the information. I'm curious to hear directly soon from Bapak Henry. Time is yours. Silakan Bapak.
Ya, terima kasih. Ini kalau bahasa kitanya ya kalau di belakang itu ya saya lihat yang ikut itu enggak sampai 25 lagi. Ya jadi oke lah untuk kesehatan presentasi ya oke. Untuk screen ya.
Ya bisa Bapak langsung sendiri atau bagaimana Pak dibantu? Oh bisa.
Bisa masih.
Bisa Pak, sudah bisa terlihat Pak.
Oke. Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Gentlemen, saya campur aja ya, ada Inggris, ada Indonesia. Jadi untuk presentation yang last ini. Ya, jadi topik ini this is design of prototype Discom using microcontroller for voltage integration. Jadi alat untuk bisa menstabilkan tegangan dari gangguan. Ya. Pengantar saya akan buat nanti ada background of problem of statement, apa yang bisa mendasari untuk riset itu, objektif dari penelitian yang saya lakukan. Dalam hal ini ya saya membuat alat, ya, alat yang bisa untuk memperbaiki gangguan tegangan. Jadi testing, design of prototype, Discom, distribution static kompensator. Jadi boleh dikatakan pada tegangan distribusi dia bisa menstabilkan daya. Ada riset simulation yang saya lakukan dan eksperimen yang dicobakan di lab, dua contribution yang bisa didapatkan dari eksperimen, conclusion, dan list of publication yang saya sudah lakukan. Power quality definition ada dua, yang IEEE ya, itu the concept of powering and ground sensitive equipment and learn there is subtraction of the operation and equipment. Ini yang IEEE. AEC, characteristic of electrical act give on reveal technical parameter. Power quality. What is power quality? Power quality is same in PQ. Ada banyak permasalahan pada power quality dengan kemajuan industri sekarang yang mempengaruhi dalam hal ini tegangan, frekuensi, dan semuanya itu mengakibatkan misoperation, ya, gangguan pada pemakaian atau penggunaan yang akibatnya customer and user equipment terganggu. Ini yang berkaitan dengan power quality. Jadi ini yang jadi beban pemikiran pada industri-industri besar. Ya, akibatnya dari penggunaan peralatan yang menggunakan microprocessor sebagai dasar untuk pengaturan atau kontrol, baik yang digunakan pada power electronics, ya, rangkaian power electronics, dan peralatan-peralatan yang terhubung dengan sistem ada beberapa poin rangkaian yang bisa membantu untuk pengatasan dari gangguan speed drive daripada motor, ada untuk kapasitor bank dan juga untuk koreksi daripada gangguan daya atau losses tantangan untuk power quality issue sedang banyak dilakukan dalam hal ini, kajian-kajiannya. Ada yang berkaitan juga dengan interconnect network atau interkoneksi sistem, dan ada juga yang berkaitan dengan standar daripada performance kriteria daripada hasil yang didapatkan. Semuanya nanti akan mempengaruhi di dalam bentuk power supply yang didapatkan. Power quality juga membantu dalam bentuk peralatan. Standar yang saya lakukan untuk macam-macam power quality yang ada atau quality performance, saya melihatnya pada voltage seg, ya. Jadi ada pembagiannya di sini, ya, bisa dilihat. Ini pada tegangan sistem normal, ya. Kalau dilihat ada 100% dia naik plus dan minus. Ini pada daerah normal, ini pada daerah gangguan, ya. Jadi yang terganggu itu waktunya lebih kurang 1 minute, ya. Jadi sangat singkat sekali. Pada voltage seg waktunya lebih kurang 1 cycle, itu dalam hitungan mikro minutes. PQ pada voltage seg, ya, yang terjadi pada sistem adanya tegangan normal, ya, ada gangguan, maka dia akan drop ini, ya. Tegangan akan drop yang mengakibatkan sistem terganggu, ya. Waktunya memang sangat cepat. Itu untuk voltage seg. Sementara ada pada tegangan interruption, tegangan normal drop mendekati 0 atau mendekati tegangan minimum, ya. Ini juga mempengaruhi power quality, ya. Ini ada kurva yang standarnya yang diakibatkan oleh gangguan dan membuka reclosure atau CB, ya, pada sistem, ya. Semua proteksi itu akan mereduksi seperti yang tadi, ya, tegangan itu sampai 90% dan 10% dari minimal sistem. Ya, ada 2 yang jadi parameter untuk voltage seg itu, nilai magnitude dan durasinya atau frekuensinya nanti, ya. Ini mengakibatkan adanya tegangan voltage tadi akan membuat peralatan lebih sensitif terhadap gangguan. Jadi pada industri lebih kurang 7-8, ya, waktunya yang untuk memperbaiki keadaan. Ini yang dikatakan voltage seg tadi, ya. Jadi ini ada tegangan normal, drop tegangan akibat gangguan, itu lebih kurang waktunya, ya, durasinya 4 cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, ya. Dengan magnitude lebih kurang setengahnya, ya. Jadi kalau ini maksimum, ini half atau setengahnya dari tegangan maksimum. Ini dalam bentuk pengukuran grafiknya, ya. Ini yang normal, ya, yang biru. Ini yang drop tegangannya tadi, ya. yang mengakibatkan voltage itu boleh jadi dari short circuit fault, gangguan hubungan singkat, motor starting atau awal menghidupkan atau menjalankan motor, dan adanya transformer energizer. Ini adalah awal pemindahan sistem trafo. Juga terjadi voltage sag. Dari studi yang dilakukan untuk gangguan akibat voltage sag itu lebih kurang 377.000 per tahunnya di industri yang besar. Ya. Nilai cost yang dirusak ataupun akibat dari gangguan tadi lebih kurang 114 billion dolar. Ya. Ini untuk voltage sag, sementara untuk interruption lebih kurang 132.000 per tahun untuk industri besar. Biaya yang dikeluarkan akibat dari interruption tadi. Sementara secara nasional, kos yang dikeluarkan lebih kurang 39 billion dolar. Ini juga dilakukan di Eropa. Studi ini dalam penelitian lebih kurang 150 billion dolar, Europe, ya, Europe per tahunnya untuk masalah PQ di Eropa. Ini mengakibatkan juga gangguan pada peralatan-peralatan lainnya. Ini yang saya lihat pembuatan yang saya cobakan. Jadi kalau boleh di sini dikatakan sistem yang ada voltage source, ya. Ini adalah pemakai atau dalam bentuk load di sini. Ini sistem ada gangguan, ini akibat sesuatu hal, ada gangguan di sini, maka alat yang dibuat atau di Stacom ini akan bisa menstabilkan sistem yang ada ke pemakai atau konsumen atau load ini. Dengan adanya bantuan yang energi dari kapasitor bank. Ya. Jadi ini ada inverter, bagaimana dari DC, AC lagi. Ya. Ini ya dasar dari peralatan yang dibuat tersebut. Jadi ada inverter, ada kapasitor bank, ada kontrol. Dalam hal ini menggunakan microcontroller, ya. Ada blocking untuk tegangan sistem ke peralatan. Ini simulation yang pernah saya lakukan menggunakan MTDC, ya. Ini software kita harus berlangganan atau menggunakan dongle atau chip untuk bisa menggunakan maksimum. Output yang saya dapatkan dari simulation, ini gangguan terjadinya voltage tadi, ini yang tegangan, ini arus yang terjadi pada sistem. Sementara tegangan normalnya adalah bagian bawah ini. Ini arus. Poin dari peralatan yang didapatkan, ini tegangan voltage sag yang terjadi pada sistem. Dengan pembantuan atau menggunakan di Stacom, dia akan boleh mereduce atau dapat mereduce tegangan tadi mendekati normal sistem, ya. Jadi ini tanpa distekon, ini menggunakan distekon. Jadi reduce 20% tegangan itu bisa dilakukan. Ya, ini quantitative riset yang saya lakukan, ya. Ini output eksperimen yang saya dapatkan. Pada sistem Distekom ditempatkan di sini. Ini yang alat yang sensitif. Dalam hal ini sensitif ini bisa pabrik kain ataupun benang yang sangat sensitif sekali terhadap drop tegangan. Ya, jadi kalau ada gangguan di sistem, maka peralatan yang di sini dengan adanya peralatan Distekom, tegangan yang dipakai oleh peralatan ini tidak akan terganggu, dia akan normal, biarpun sistem yang lain drop. Pada peralatan yang sensitif, tegangan tadi tidak akan terganggu tegangannya. Ini kajian-kajian yang pernah dilakukan, ya. Jadi dari apa yang saya sudah dapatkan, conclusion-nya boleh dikatakan di sini, ya, bisa didapatkan bahwasanya peralatan ini bisa melakukan perbaikan apa yang ditulis oleh Ali 2002. Saya bisa mendapatkan adanya perbaikan dalam hal ini menggunakan PWM, ya, dan juga switching yang bisa didapatkan dari awalnya 22,3 kHz bisa mendapatkan sampai saya lakukan itu lebih 210 kHz, ya. Dan durasi untuk frekuensinya juga yang digunakan juga bisa diperbaiki. Ini bentuk conclusion-nya. Ini jurnal yang pernah saya dapatkan atau saya lakukan untuk sampai tahun 2010, ya, sebelum selesai PhD. Ya, kalau peralatan lebih kurang seperti ini yang ada pada sistem, ya. Jadi di Indonesia alhamdulillah belum ada. Jadi ini kajian untuk di luar. Jadi sehingga selepas PhD saya, ya kajian yang saya lakukan ya berubah lain arah. Jadi ini waktu dilakukan, waktu menyelesaikan S3, PhD. Itu saja ya mungkin yang bisa disampaikan. Bu I, terima kasih banyak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Luar biasa Pak Henry, saya lihat itu ya. Coba saya ingin tanya ada satu hal, tapi nantilah dulu kita berikan kesempatan kepada Bapak Ibu yang hendak memberikan respon pertanyaan. Silakan Bapak Ibu disampaikan langsung ke Pak Henry. Ini alatnya berarti sempat dihakikan gitu Pak, harusnya Pak ya, diklaim sebagai sebuah paten gitu Pak ya?
Ya, waktu di Kuala Lumpur saya diminta oleh profesor saya untuk dihakikan, tapi saya pikir-pikir udahlah banyak yang harus dilakukan lagi, ya. Jadi akibatnya di Indonesia juga saya enggak punya. Sebetulnya bisa. Waktu di Kuala Lumpur saya bisa, tapi ya saya aja enggak punya peluang untuk menyelesaikannya, ya. Itu Bu. Jadi insya Allah kalau aki bentuk-bentuk seperti ini bisa 1 atau 2 aki kalau kita buatkan.
Iya, sayang gitu Pak ya, paten kayaknya jadinya nih Pak ya, lebih kepada paten ini karena produknya. Tetapi yang saya ingin tahu itu Pak, tantangannya untuk diterapkan di Indonesia, kenapa, apa Pak tantangannya untuk power quality dengan Destatcom ini Pak?
Ya, tantangan di kita salah satunya Bu, kita pemakai itu diminta tidak ada pilihan, cuma ada PLN saja. Kalau di Singapura, sana Malaysia, itu penjual listrik itu sama seperti apa?
Jual pulsa gitu Pak?
Bukan.
Ah.
Yang provider Telkom, Telkomsel, XL, ada yang lain-lain, ya. Akibatnya terjadi persaingan. Kalau di Indonesia tidak boleh bersaing dengan PLN. Akibatnya semuanya di PLN. Tadi saya mau ibaratkan kalau Indonesia terbuka seperti waktu kita punya Telkom. Telkom itu dulu ke kampung kita tidak boleh lain kecuali Telkom. Tapi dengan adanya XL, adanya Telkomsel dan segala macam, terjadi persaingan. Persaingan akibatnya sehat. Sehat apa? Konsumen mendapatkan fasiliti yang boleh memilih. Kalau kelistrikan tidak boleh selain dari PLN. Nah, ini yang jadi masalah. Problemnya kalau saya lihat antara Telkom dengan listrik itu sama saja. Telkom dulu pakai wire, pakai telepon, pakai kabel juga. Ya, listrik juga pakai kabel. Nanti juga listrik bisa juga enggak tanpa kabel. Bu I bisa lihat charging pada handphone kita. Bu I kan ada yang terbaru. Apple itu kan cuma ditaruh aja di atas kotak box gitu. Nah,
nir kabel gitu Pak ya, nggak pakai kabel.
Itu nggak pakai kabel. Listrik tegangan enggak itu? Tegangan yang dimasukkan ke handphone. Tegangan. Nah, sama enggak bisa enggak di luar? Bisa saja, itu nanoteknologi nanti yang kaitannya. Akibatnya apa? Kalau saya lihat, kalau infrastruktur Indonesia tidak menyiapkan adanya persaingan yang sehat, ya tetap tidak terpakai alat-alat yang membuat pelayanan itu lebih baik. Kalau kita di Indonesia listrik mati, tidak ada yang bisa komplain. Anda komplain kemana? Tapi kalau di luar, listrik pada si A atau Telkom itu mati, sering mati, dia akan pindah ke provider XL. Dia akan pindah kepada yang lain. Nah, akibatnya apa? Yang tidak bagus pelayanan akan ditinggalkan. Kalau di Indonesia tidak bisa itu. Satu-satunya cuma ada PLN. Nah, ini untuk kedepannya, Bu, peralatan ini memang agak lebih mahal. Jadi sehingga PLN sendiri jangankan yang sensitif seperti ini, yang gangguan yang besar saja mereka belum bisa mengatasi. Jadi ini yang kenapa kita itu masih dikategorikan negara berkembang. Salah satunya masyarakat tidak menikmati kebutuhan pokoknya terhadap listrik yang sebaik mungkin. Nah, itu salah satunya. Oh, bisa enggak dibuat? Bisa. Di Batam, di Indonesia, itu industri di Batam itu membuat kontrak dengan PLN. Kalau dia sempat padam sekian kali per tahun, PLN akan dituntut. Nah, itu ada. Itu dilakukan di Batam, di kawasan industri Batam. Nah, kenapa di Indonesia semuanya tidak bisa? Nah, itu terkait dengan pembiayaan dan sos yang ada. Itu yang saya sampaikan. Ya.
Iya Bapak, sangat jelas, sangat gamblang Pak ya. Penciptaan sebuah teknologi diikuti dengan konsekuensi dan tantangan untuk penerapannya Pak ya.
Iya.
Tapi kami berharap melalui forum internasional simposium ini kan ada banyak yang menyimak. Nah, mungkin suatu saat akan lebih luaskan melanjutkan ide Bapak untuk menyelesaikan beberapa permasalahan yang berpihak pada konsumen pengguna listrik di Indonesia ya Pak ya. Oke. Bapak, terima kasih banyak. Iya, silakan Bapak.
Ini menjawab juga yang disampaikan world class university dan research university itu, Bu. Jadi kedepannya memang tantangan kemajuan teknologi itu memang harus wadahi. Artinya ada forum-forum untuk yang seperti itu. Karena itulah saya melihat perlu pengembangan lebih lanjut untuk kita forum seperti ini. Tadi juga saya lihat ada kemajuan, saya baru ikut sebelum ini Bu I, karena banyak apa untuk mahasiswa-mahasiswa kita akan bagus sekali kalau adanya moderator itu seperti Bu I, ya. Kalau enggak ada audiensnya atau yang hadir itu bertanya, moderatornya yang harus bertanya. Kalau saya lihat tadi loss saja, jadi itu untuk tambahan untuk panitia mungkin ya untuk kedepannya, karena saya baru melihatnya ini. Ya, terima kasih Bu I. Ya.
Ya, siap Bapak, terima kasih atas sharing ilmunya. Ini untuk kebutuhan pribadi, rasanya ada rasa ingin tahu yang cukup terjawab ya, walaupun ini bukan bidang, tapi secara umum kita mencoba memahami. Terima kasih juga Bapak untuk sarannya untuk kedua keynote speaker, invited speaker pada sore ini. Luar biasa. Itulah seperti Pak Henry bilang, forum-forum ini gunanya untuk mendiseminasikan pengetahuan-pengetahuan untuk dilanjutkan dan diperbaharui. Akhir kata ini Bapak, kami mengucapkan terima kasih. Izinkan kami menyampaikan sertifikat untuk Bapak Henry dan Bapak Rijal. Secara monitor diterima dulu ya Bapak, insya Allah akan di-share nanti, dibagi ke emailnya masing-masing. Terima kasih banyak atas nama panitia. Kemudian untuk partisipan, sesuai janji, kami akan mengumumkan 4 best presenter dari 4 room, gitu ya. Nah, Pak apa? Nah, inilah yang Pak Rijal sudah Pak, yang apa namanya itu best presenter. Ya, best presenter sudah ada tadi dikirim Pak Henry. Bentar Pak. Oke, kami umumkan. Bismillah. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu atas atensinya. Kita mengumumkan ada 4 best presenter terpilih. Yang pertama dari room 1, selamat kami ucapkan kepada Bapak Ananda Putra. Oke, Bapak Ananda Putra. Nanti Pak disampaikan sertifikatnya. Kemudian dari room 2, selamat kepada Bapak Dr. Bambang Heriadi. Ada Pak Bambang? Ya, oke. Kemudian dari room 3 kepada Ibu Pristia Bevi Aulia. Mudah-mudahan Bu Pristia masih ada. Dan yang room 4 adalah Ibu Lailatur Rahmi. Oke. Nah, demikian Bapak Ibu, apresiasi kami dari panitia telah membersamai dan telah mendukung Bapak Ibu semua, sekaligus kita saling memberikan kontribusi untuk keterlaksanaannya acara ini. Karena sudah datang pula waktunya dan agenda kita sudah selesai, alhamdulillah lancar. Kita akhiri sesi ini dengan membacakan Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Sampai jumpa, kita berharap bertemu kembali dalam simposium tahun berikutnya, tahun 2023. Saya sebagai moderator mohon maaf jika ada hal yang kurang berkenan dan tidak pada tempatnya. Saya akhiri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih. Terima kasih Pak Henry, Pak Rijal.
Terima kasih Pak Henry, Pak Rijal.
Terima kasih seluruh panitia. Sukses selalu.
Amin.
Terima kasih Pak Bambang. Ya, selamat Pak Bambang. Pak Gre, thank you. Ya, terima kasih kepada semua panitia ya. Mulai dari Pak Raymond, Andy Gang, Bu Muhya, Bu Monika, Bu Okta, Pak Doni, Pak Dori, Pak Saiful, ya Pak Febri, ya semua yang sangat berjasa untuk kesuksesan kita sekali lagi. Tetap semangat.
Oke. Live. Thank you.
Kalau gitu boleh kita masing-masing live ya Bapak Ibu ya. Sampai jumpa. Ya.
Oh, lupa kita sertifikatnya nanti di apa aja lah ya. Dikirim ke belum kirim. Kita ada